In the quiet village of Umedike, where red dust kissed bare feet and the evening smelled of wood smoke and rain, everyone knew Amora as the girl who waited. She lived in a small mud house with a rusted zinc roof and dreams too big for her surroundings. Amora was gentle, soft-spoken, and loyal to a fault. At 22, she had already tied her heart to one man, Daniel Okafor, the village golden boy. Daniel was different from the others. He spoke English with confidence, wore polished shoes even on dusty roads, and carried ambition like a second shadow. He promised Amora something no one else ever did. "I will leave this village," he said one night under the moonlight, "but I will come back for you. When I return, I will marry you." Those words became Amora's religion. Daniel left for Lagos with nothing but a small bag and big dreams. Weeks passed. Then months. Then years. At first, letters came. Then phone calls. Then silence. People whispered. "Amora, forget him," her mother begged. "Men don't return once the city tastes them," the women mocked. "Find another man before time cheats you," elders warned. But Amora waited. She rejected suitors, rich farmers, widowers, even a local teacher. Each time she said the same words. "My heart is not free." Years passed like slow pain. At 28, Amora was no longer the village beauty she once was. Hard work and disappointment had etched quiet strength into her face. She sold palm oil by day and cried by night. Still, every Christmas, she cleaned her compound, hoping. Then one rainy evening, 10 years later, a black SUV drove into Umedike. Dust rose. Children screamed. Villagers gathered. And from the car stepped a man. Tall. Well-dressed. Confident. The village went silent. "Daniel is back." Amora's heart nearly stopped. She ran barefoot through the rain, heart pounding like a drum. When she reached him, she froze. He looked familiar. But also strange. "Daniel," she whispered. The man stared at her blankly. "I'm sorry," he said slowly. "Do I know you?" The world tilted. Before she could speak again, a woman stepped out of the car, beautiful, polished, pregnant. "Who is she?" the woman asked sharply. Daniel frowned. "I don't know." Amora felt her soul crack. Later that night, the truth emerged like poison. This man was David Okafor, Daniel's younger brother. Daniel was dead. 5 years earlier, Daniel had been involved in a construction accident in Lagos. He died instantly. The company covered it up. Nobody was returned. No message sent. David had only recently discovered letters Amora wrote, hidden among Daniel's belongings. Out of guilt and curiosity, David came to the village. Amora collapsed when she heard the truth. 10 years of waiting. 10 years of loyalty. For a man who never returned, not by choice, but by death. David stayed longer than planned. He saw Amora's pain. Her strength. Her quiet dignity. Unlike Daniel, David was humble. Patient. Observant. He began helping her, fixing her leaking roof, assisting her mother, supporting her small business. Slowly, something dangerous grew between them. But the village judged. "How can you love your dead lover's brother? She is shameless." She waited for Daniel, only to settle for his shadow. Amora battled guilt. One night, she told David, tears streaming. "I waited 10 years for your brother. Loving you feels like betrayal." David replied softly. "Love is not a crime. Staying dead inside is." Then tragedy struck again. David's wife, who had been unhappy and distant, lost the baby and blamed David. She left him. Broken and free at the same time, David prepared to leave Umedike forever. On the day he left, Amora stood at the same spot she once waited for Daniel. This time, she spoke. "I waited for 10 years, she said, voice steady. "I won't wait again. If you leave today, you leave alone." David dropped his bag. 2 years later, Amora stood in a white dress. Not as the girl who waited, but as the woman who chose herself. And sometimes, love doesn't come back as the person you expected. it comes back as the person you needed all along. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comment below, would you have waited or moved on?